Okay, let's go to
I can
maybe
help.
Rizal. Okay, Rizal, let's show the screen and take a look at it. All right. Excellent. So let's begin here. I'll begin with Gani because Gani is in charge of brand impressions, right? And impressions. Gani, where does your current SLA?
Okay, so my current SLA, right now I'm focusing deliver the promise to BI that I have to bring the leads. My SLA is bring 10 qualified leads per week, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's try this, right? Okay. All right. So your SLA is that you're going to bring 10 qualified leads to business. That that doesn't quite make sense to me, Gani, because business intelligence, they're. Wait. Let me think. Let me ask. Why are you bringing? Why do you have an SLA with business intelligence?
Because I think that business intelligence work as a revenue as well. So if you can see the paper there, Mas Rizal, could you scroll out a bit? So SLA means that one chapter bring promise to other chapter, right? So here on SLA1, a server is marketing as a market builder, find the property, and then the client in, we offer the service that marketing will deliver two qualified partner every month to BI. So this is on a
I see. I see. Okay. All right.
temporary SLA that we discussed.
Okay. All right. So Gani, you're working on that SLA all by yourself then, apparently.
No, I apparently working on initiative that of online free canvassing. So me and Aldo do online canvassing, and we send the invitation page to property owners.
I see. And who is in charge of then delivering the SLA? Is it you or Aldo?
So it's me and Aldo.
No, no, can't be that way. SLAs are one person, right? They need to be accountable so that when, let's say, things don't work out, we don't go to you and you say it's something Aldo did and Aldo said something you did. Because that's a breakdown in SLAs. So the way you need to think of an SLA is like it's a chain, right? It's a chain of dependencies from one person to the next, and there is no thing that is shared by two people, right? Because that needs an SLA, right? What is Aldo's job to help you do your job, and what is your job to help Aldo do his job? Okay.
So it's my SLA, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Gani's SLA. Yeah. All right. Let me also frame. Let me bring up this idea, and then you guys can consider it. So what we have, and the reason why I invited Gani to participate in the HR discussions is because in HR we have a very clear SLA, right? Actually, we don't have an SLA, but it's just been working because we've been lucky, let's say so far. Kiki works on brand impressions. She works on branding. Kiki goes out and she gets the name of Bukit Vista out there through webinars, through contacts with different universities, so that different universities are aware of Bukit Vista, right? She then creates an SLA to bring essentially traffic to our website, and that is her deliverable. So what Kiki needs to do is she needs to bring a certain number of traffic, let's say 500 visits a month, to the Bukit Vista website, and that then goes into ours bucket, right? R gets then all these applicants coming in from the website, okay? And then she needs to then select a few such that will process into the internship program, okay? My SLA is then to take, R then onboards interns and gets them in. My SLA is then to help you guys make the most of the interns that come in so that we can get more work done, right? So that's essentially like what the chain of SLAs actually look like. So here's my question then. So Gani is working on this SLA from top to bottom now, right? So you're charging, you're doing 2 leads a month. Who else is getting 2 leads a month? Just you.
Sir.
Okay, over to
yeah. I also bring the leads, so I use paid canvassing to bring the leads. So if I'm not, if correct me if I'm wrong, but SLA on this side is, I think, in each initiative have a SLA with the other initiative. In example, Mas Jenny, maybe you serve an SLA to Aldo. So you are as the server and Aldo as the client, and then me as the server and Aldo as the client, because Aldo is on the following up list, right? And then Aldo will be the server, and then Wayana will be the client after Aldo have bring some leads to the closing the deals for Wayana. Is that correct, sir?
Kind of, but here's what's happening that I'm seeing. You guys are not really working together. You're like 3 different salespeople all going out on 3 different plans to try to get leads in, right? That's what's actually happening now. Let's go over to Gani.
Okay, so let me try to more understand this. So basically, we trying to use analogic like previous market builder flow. So me as a lead generator for free canvassing, and Rizal as a lead generator too, but use paid canvassing, and then Aldo doing the cold call after me and Rizal bring the leads to Aldo.
And getting into the okay.
Yeah, follow up and cold call, and then if it's working and interest to meeting, so Wayana doing the meeting. So
okay, got it. That part is right. After the leads come in, right? After the leads come in, you have one person who converts leads into or contacts into meetings, and another person who converts meetings into deals. That part is right. But the first part is a little bit weird, right? The first part is because you, Gani, and Rizal are both sort of in the same part of that funnel, right? Which means that who's doing branding? Is it going to be Gani or is it going to be Rizal, right? Who's doing? Remember, don't get too stuck on the skill, right? Think about the funnel process, right? Think about, okay, who's doing branding? Who's going out there and making sure that a lot of people know about Bukit Vista? Is it Gani or is it Rizal? If it's both of you, then you're both serving the same part, and I guess that's okay. But you're then not working really together, and your specialties are not really focused, right? You're focusing more on sort of like what I could imagine that this could work is like this, right? Like, okay, let me just ask you this. Who's going to be in charge of the first stage of the funnel, getting us impressions? Is it going to be Gani or is it going to be Rizal?
So on the previously it should be me, but I'm quite stuck that I cannot bring much impression and that cannot find the lead. So I try to be more active, which is canvassing online.
Okay, all right. So Gani's gonna go canvassing. Okay, Rizal, and you're gonna go canvassing too, but online, yeah? Okay, and then the leads will come in, and then okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see if it works, yeah? Okay, so let's do this then. How are you doing, Gani? Do you have 2 leads right now?
Yeah, actually I have 3 leads on the leads countdown Trello board.
Okay.
I already contact them,
okay,
and 2 of them is respond, but no sign if there is interest with us yet.
Okay, got it. Gani, what I need to see now is I need to see your funnel a little bit more clearly, okay? So I need to know what is your activity, what is essentially the first stage, the second stage, and the third stage, and it needs to be a flow. So why I'm asking for that is because right now you want to get 2 partnerships per month, right? That's your SLA. But I have no way of understanding your progress right now, how close you are to 2 partnerships a month. What I would imagine progress would look like to get 2 partnerships a month is that you probably, before 2 partnerships, you probably need 5 meetings, right? And before 5 meetings, you probably need, I don't know, 20 leads. And before 20 leads, maybe you have maybe 100 outreach. So right now, I don't see that. I can't see that. So I don't know if you're going to actually hit that. And because this is the first time you're doing it, I also am worried whether or not this is going to happen, right? So what happens if we come back next week or whatever at the end of the month and we don't see this happen? Can we fix it earlier? So, Johnny, what I'd like to see then is this, right? Can you then break down sort of your funnel and show us like what is your outreach, what is your outreach, what is your response?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, got that.
On that kind of update, I already give the update on the marketing Trello board.
Okay.
Yes, and on the initiative G, finding product market fit on the very bottom. Online canvassing and using WhatsApp to reach Jogja property owner, and then on the so I already outreach Villa Blue Step, the Westlake Resort, and Darab Habsari, and but not get a good sign yet. So.
Okay. All right. So then what you need to do, Gani, is this, right? Looking at that progress right now, I don't think you have enough momentum to actually reach your SLA target. If you really want to reach your SLA target, I suggest that you probably need a lot more outreach at this point.
Yeah.
Because right now, I don't understand what your success ratio is.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many leads you bring into this. So at this point, I would ask that you just focus on activity and bring as much activity into the front of the funnel. And then we can see how much that goes down to the rest of the funnel. Okay, Gani, because I can't see your funnel visualization, I don't know what stage you'll get stuck on. What stage do you anticipate that you might need help with later?
Actually, I need more time to screening the leads, especially on Jogja. So I screening on Jogja properties, and then I find one by one, and then I do the qualification, qualified properties, property qualification.
Okay.
Sorry.
And this is my enhancement of the SLA, right? This could be an SLA bug. The SLA that we have right now is incorrect. And the reason I kind of believe that is because I look and you're focusing on Jogja properties. Now, our SLA is 2 partnerships a month, right? Is that correct, Gani?
Yeah. Correct, sir.
Do we really want 2 partnerships a month, or do we want something else that's more relevant to, let's say, survival and thriving? Let's go over to Rizal.
I see, sir. I think we need more leads property in the more area in the other area like Bali or maybe in overseas area also. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's be careful, right? Okay, so this is like a little bit too little, a little bit too much. Let's go into the middle. Yes, Gani, if we focus on an SLA that just says property partnerships per month and we get 2 property partnerships that produce no potential revenue, then what? Then we've wasted a month to essentially bring something in. That's not really going to help us very much. We've sought activity and no result. Okay, so our SLA is not well defined. We need to go back and redefine the SLA. What it should be, I think, is what is the potential income that you're bringing in every month, right? Not proven income. Proven income is after we've made the money. But what is the potential income? Now, this goes back to what Wayana and Nungli were working on. What is the minimum threshold, right, that we expect that this property should produce? So if it's this type of property with this many rooms and this dimension, then we expect that this should produce $10,000 a month. But if it's like a tiny property in this location, then we expect it a little bit lower. Part of that is guesswork. I agree, right? But part of that is also kind of obvious too. Like if you bring in, let's say, a Jogja property versus a Bali property, we know Jogja properties make maybe a quarter or much less than a Bali property. We should probably focus on that. So what, Gani, I'd like you to do is this. I'd like you to reconsider your SLA now, right? Mm-hmm. We've detected a bug. We've detected an error in the SLA. It does not essentially help us survive. It is activity, and it's not necessarily a key result that drives our mission forward. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And okay, so definitely get that part in. Let's go over to the next person then, Rizal. Rizal, tell me about your SLA.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Basically, my SLA is currently I do a paid canvassing, which is I run Facebook ads to gain more leads, and also I propose to use Facebook to discover a new area on the overseas market right now. But currently, the number is only for the paid canvassing itself, but for the discover new market, I still don't have a SLA right now.
Okay. All right. Let me also correct this result.
Yep.
Your SLA has nothing to do with your method, right? So your SLA is what you will deliver at what time and how, right? It's like I don't care if you use Facebook or if you go out the street and scream whatever, right? But this is why the SLA is so important. It's the how, so we don't get too attached to the how. So how many partnership deals will you deliver in a month?
Okay.
2 partnerships a month, all right?
Yeah.
At $50 a partnership. Okay, all right. So question now, Rizal, what does your funnel look like? And does it look, if I take a look at your funnel, will I be persuaded that you are on track for this 2 partnerships a month?
So basically, my funnel is to deliver Aldo, sir, which is to follow up the leads.
No, your funnel is what does it look like from the beginning until you get to 2 partnerships, right? So the thing that I'm worried about, right, that I'm concerned about is you want 2 partnerships a month, but how many impressions does that look like today? How many outreach does that look like today? How many responses would that look like today? You have to like work your way backwards. Let's say on August 31st, you have 2 partnerships a month. How many leads did you have on August 27th? How many impressions did you have on August 15th, right? We need to think about what that actually looks like. So if I were to look at your funnel, just your funnel, from what you're doing at the beginning to what you're doing at the end, what does that look like today?
Okay. Yes. From me is I think this is I think it's still correct funnel, sir. So I try to use cost per impression to get at the first funnel, and then.
Okay, correction. That's not a funnel. That's a KPI, right?
Oh.
KPI right now. What a funnel is same like what we did with all the professional networking, right? If I believe that you will get me 2 partnerships a month, right? Then I should probably know a few things. I should know how long does it take to get a partnership? How many impressions does it get to take a partnership? What's the time between, what's the cost of a partnership? But I need to know some leading indicators before the key indicator too. Does that make sense? I need to know what will happen before that if I want, or at least you should know. I'm doing this. I shouldn't know anything. If I'm just asking as, let's say, the service client, I should just get 2 partnerships a month. But right now, I don't think you know, right, what needs to happen before. So that's why we're talking about this. So I need to understand, or you need to understand this, not me. You need to understand what is your impression funnel now, what is your conversion funnel now, and what is your impression, consideration, and lead, and then finally what that is. You need to have a clear process on that. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So I still need to see it. Do you have that information right now, Rizal?
Basically, for my funnel is for my SLA is impression funnel. Sorry, I didn't get.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Let's say this. Let's use an example that I've done so far. So I'll show you. Let's say an SLA, and just kind of look at my screen for now, and I'll share this. Okay. So let's say, for example, let's say for Startup Masterclass, everyone, I will promise to get everybody at Bukit Vista 2 startup mentors per month, right? In order for to develop our leadership program here. So that's my commitment to you. My SLA is 2 quality mentors a month. Okay. So let's ask myself today, if I have a deadline on, today is August 17th. If Jing has a deadline on August 31st to deliver this, will Jing actually be able to deliver his promise? So then let's take a look and see. If Jing is going to deliver 2 mentors a month, then today he should probably have a certain number of outreach, right? He should probably have a certain number of response. He should probably be scheduling a certain number, and he should probably be setting up a certain number of meetings. That's my funnel. So anybody looking at my funnel and you looking at your funnel, not your macro funnel, but your micro funnel, your part of the SLA, can understand if you are likely to make it. Okay. So you're not just going to get 2 partnerships out of thin air, right? Oh, maybe you could. Maybe you just go and you cold call, and then it all of a sudden happens one day. Yes, you got lucky, but at least we need to know what is your success ratio. How much? Like, can you estimate it right now? When you set an SLA, do you know how likely you are to be able to achieve the SLA today? Over back to result.
I think from the if the end of funnel is 2 quality mentor per month, I think from the meeting we have to get more from the 2 numbers. It's like 5 number or 7 numbers, and then from the response we have to get 50 numbers or 30 numbers, and then from the outreach we have to get higher number.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. All right. But then who's going to track that? You need to track that, right? You need to track what your conversion statistics are, just like Gunny needs to track what his conversion statistics are all throughout the entire journey, so that that becomes clear. So that, let's say, for example, let's say I'm going to hold you to it, right? If you say 2 partnerships a month, at the end of the month, if you don't get it, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be like, hey, not just me, but everybody down the line, right? Other people who are ready to get it done. And they'll want to know, why did it not get done, right? And we don't want to hear like, oh, it didn't get done because da. What we want to hear is that, all right, I got it 50% of the way done, but I got stuck on the last step from this part to this part. I understood that I have a conversion friction from response to this, and I reached out to leadership, and I reached out to this, and I found this, and I was finally able to convert over that step. That would be okay. That was what success would look like, right? What not success looks like is, I don't know. I really don't know why I didn't get, or some bad excuse, okay? So having that funnel internally, let's say if I go to Aldo, right? And Aldo's not getting, let's say, enough people in. I can see, Aldo, did you do enough outreach? And Aldo would say, yes, I did like 50 outreach. Great. How much of that outreach turned into responses? None. I go like, really? Are you sure you did the outreach correctly? Probably not. Aldo, what do you think went wrong? Maybe my messaging wasn't right. Good. Have you considered using different messaging? No. Maybe you should do that, right? You know, or let's say Aldo gets past that stage. He gets the responses, but they're not turning into meetings. So I go, Aldo, how much outreach did you do? I did 50. How many responded? 25. How many turned into meetings? 0. What do you think is wrong? Maybe I didn't give them the right invitation letter. Oh, okay. All right. Did you try different invitation letters? Yes, I have. I've tried this one, and this one. What was the variable that you changed? I changed the timing. Okay, great. So do you still believe timing is the issue? Probably not. So what could be the real issue? Maybe it's the messaging. Okay, Aldo, maybe you should try different messaging and see if you can move that funnel along from response to meeting. Okay, let's say the third scenario. I go, Aldo, did you do outreach? He said, yup, responded, 25. How many meetings did you get? I got 5. Okay, great. So then what happened? They didn't want to become partners. Okay, interesting. Why did they not want to become partners? Because when Wanda pitched them, she was scratching her nose, and it turned them away. That was a joke, but okay. Then we know, okay, that is the specific part, right? So if you guys don't create that later, it's going to be very, very frustrating to fix. You're going to fix your own problems, right? But it'll be very frustrating to understand what part of the problem you're sort of stuck on, and it'll be also frustrating to figure out, like, you know, what you can do to improve it. That is what you guys are doing right now, right? Because you're doing the entire stack, okay? And that is, once again, another friction with the way you created your SLA. You'll have to track every stage of the funnel as it goes through. What you could do, as a suggestion, is that one person works on impression, another person works on conversion, and then another person works on, let's say, product market fit or closing, right? What could happen is then just this, right? One person, Gani, works on impression. Gani, did you get us 5,000 outreach this month, right? And Gani will say no. We'll go, why not? Because I didn't do it. We'll go, why don't you do it? Okay, so that then becomes a simple conversation, right? And then we'll go to the next person, right? From, let's say, outreach to response. The next person goes, okay, did you get enough of these respondents from Gani? I did not get anybody responded. Okay, then Gani messed up, right? Gani wasn't able to turn outreach into response. So then that SLA, that layer of the service becomes Gani's responsibility. Okay, let's say the next person turns response into meetings. Yes, babe.
I mean, I get your suggestion, an idea, but so the reality is that, like, what I understand, like, Gani been trying to the brand impression, but he said it's stuck. And then also, to be honest, I'm doing this like on Facebook reach, like I do that every in a week, like 3 times, like in multiple channel. But it's not as effective when you go around and you look for a thing that you know.
Okay, that's a different thing altogether. That's a different thing altogether. Yeah, that once again we're getting too tied to the how, not what the result is. Right? Nobody can. Okay, as an SLA, we don't care how you do it. You can use Facebook. You can use whatever you want. All we care about is, did you get these impressions in at the end of the week, right? And if the impressions didn't get done, then you have not fulfilled your SLA. That then, because what I'm seeing a lot of times is that we're focusing on the how too much, right? We're going to use Facebook. We're going to use this. We're going to use this. We're going to use this. But the result is never right. Whereas in fact, what we need to focus on is, what is the result, right? What is the result? The result should be, we have this number of impressions. I don't go to Kiki and I say, hey, you need to go here to this school to use this thing to get this. No, I say, Kiki, just get it so that people know about Bukit Vista across Indonesia. So then she goes to this school, she gets those impressions. She goes to a different school, she gets those impressions. I don't really care where she goes. We just need to get those impressions in, right? We need to get this brand across. And then that we can send as material for ARA. ARA then gets the applicants, right? Actually, let me rephrase. Kiki's SLA is not impressions. Kiki's SLA is applicants, okay? So what her job is to bring applicants over to ARA. ARA's job is to then bring applicants over into interns, and then bring in successful interns. My job is to retain interns and get the interns to work successfully on different projects. That's it, right? So we don't really care how ARA does her job, because that's not our business, right? Our business is that ARA needs to deliver a certain number of interns per month. That's it. ARA can't do her job if she doesn't get applicants. So that's Kiki's job, right? Kiki's job is to get the applicants in. Okay, so let me direct where you guys can go then. Perhaps the way this can work is this. Rizal has the most ability to bring in impressions, okay? So he can be in charge of, let's say, impressions, however way that we need, but we need a certain number of impressions. And the impressions can come from, let's say, Facebook ads. They can come from Wayana's assistants, yeah? You can help Rizal get impressions from the field, from whatever, but Rizal is in charge of, let's say, bringing impressions in, okay? Then somebody else needs to make sure that these impressions work through the system and get turned into leads, right? There's a huge waste that this doesn't get turned into leads. I got an impression from LinkedIn today from a person who asked me, hey, I saw that you were on whatever, right? On this rental startup. Can I partner up with Bukit Vista? If you focus too much on the channel, then that becomes noise, right? Who cares about the channel? That's a lead, right? We don't care if it comes from Facebook or whatever. So then whoever's in charge of then turning the impressions into leads needs to be like passionate about that, right? Where do I find the lead? Where do I find the lead? How do I get the lead in? And they need to go on LinkedIn. They need to go on whatever to get the leads in, okay? Once the leads get in, they need to be converted into deals, okay? And then the deals then become what we ultimately want, high quality deals with high potential of revenue. So right now what's happening is everybody's working on, they're not working on SLAs. You're working on sort of your own individual funnels, and then those funnels kind of converge at Aldo, and then it converges at Wayana. So two converge into one, convert into another thing. It's not elegant. What's elegant is work on different things, right? One person, all their thing is just bringing in impressions. You can work with each other, right? Like if Wayana says, I have a way to give you an impression, Rizal. check this out. Then Rizal just thinks, okay, all right, I'm gonna get these impressions in. Another person, maybe Gani, just works on conversion. Okay, all these impressions are coming. How are we gonna convert these impressions into inquiries and leads? Oh my God, the impressions are coming from LinkedIn. So is our LinkedIn ready, right? The impressions are coming in on the website. Is the website ready? Because that way you don't get tied to a channel. When you get tied to a channel, then you're looking at a how and you're not looking at the result, okay? And that's a problem that we've had here for quite a while. So I'm really trying to fix that, okay? All right, so what I'm hoping to demonstrate is that the way you have your funnel set up right now is sort of weird, right? It's like you gotta have like mastery of your own funnel and getting that through. But if you do decide to help each other and you have interlocking circles, right? Let's say one person gets the impressions in. The next person makes sure that the conversions happen. The next person makes sure that these get into meetings, and the next person makes sure that the meetings turn into deals. That's the way you should use it. And then your tools become whatever fucking tool you guys want to use for whatever thing that is necessary during that time. That is the big takeaway, please, okay? So I will, okay. Then after we get this structure, I think then we have essentially a good a process that we can work on. So let's go over to Rizal. Rizal.
Sir, if I may to I repeat your suggestion is first is me in example me as to use ads platform to gain more impression, and then
whichever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Your job is to bring high quality impressions at a budgeted rate into Bukit Vista, right? So your goal should be, how do I get the best impressions? These are the impressions that have the highest probability of converting into high potential deals. I don't care if you use Facebook, I don't care if you use LinkedIn, but they have to be good impressions, right? That's it.
Yeah, and then Gani, let's say Gani want to convert the impression to the lead, right? So
yes.
Gani will be either changing the LinkedIn profile or changing the Facebook cover to gain the
or just scanning and make sure that the impressions have arrived, right? So Gani's job is to convert these impressions into leads. Then Aldo's job is to turn leads into meetings, right? And Wyana's job is to turn meetings into deals.
Sir, okay, okay. Let's say we have friction to gain impression and also get a passive leads. But
right.
if we can do actively, so we can conversing, is that still okay, sir?
Yeah, that's okay. Look, one person responsible for one stage, but people can help you, right? People can help you. So Rizal is just in charge of this, but Rizal can accept help from Aldo, who might be also working to get Rizal some impressions. He can also accept help from Wyana, who's also getting a different way of impressions. But at the end of the day, Rizal is the one responsible for bringing in impressions. Yes, you don't have to work like in separate chambers or whatever, right? Like I can definitely help Kiki get more impressions. I say, hey, Kiki, but we're just at least clear what our responsibilities are, right? We're clear. We're supposed to deliver this part of the service. Now, let's say there's a breakdown. Let's say there's a breakdown, right? We don't have any partnerships. So I go, why don't we have any partnerships? You're responsible for getting us partnerships at the end. She says, I've had no meetings. And I go to Aldo. Aldo, why don't we have any meetings? Did you get any leads? And Aldo says, yeah, I got hundreds of leads. Then it's Aldo, your job. You had hundreds of chances to get leads. Why didn't you turn into a meeting? And then Aldo will be like, I don't know, I need help. Great, everyone, can we help Aldo? Help him convert meetings into leads, right? Or leads into meetings. Okay, and then we go back. Let's say Aldo got 0, right? The opposite case. Let's say a different scenario, okay? We go to Wyana. Wyana, did you convert 2 partnerships? She said, no. Why not? I got no meetings. We go to Aldo. Aldo, why did you get no meetings? Wyana said she got no meetings. What were you doing? I got no leads. We go up to Gani. We go like, Gani, why did Aldo get no leads? Oh, there was no impression. There was no activity. And then I go to Rizal. Rizal, why did you not create? So that we can trace it out. Okay. Let's say any part where the funnel breaks down, we know where the breakdown is. We know who didn't do their job, right? It doesn't mean we hate you or anything, but at least we know where the problem is. Now, if Gani's doing impressions and Rizal's doing impressions, then when we don't get leads over to Aldo, then whose fault is it? I don't know, right? It's sort of like, oh, it could be Gani, it could be, it's sort of like, okay, we both burn leads, but yeah. So think of it this way, right? Think of it where there's a real clear chain, and when there's a breakdown, it's really easy to see. All right, the breakdown apparently has happened here. So then, Wayana, we have to ask this question, right? If you expect, let's work our way backwards, right? Up way to the top. Wayana, if you expect to close 2 partnership deals a month, how many meetings should you be getting a week?
For meeting a week, if qualified leads, I think around 5.
Okay, you need to be getting 5 meetings a week. Okay, that goes back. That's the SLA back up to Aldo now. Aldo, in order to get 5 meetings a week, right? Wait, is that right? You have 20 meetings to get 2 deals, babe?
I mean meeting online or meeting?
I mean, like, yeah, whatever's being sent your way. You need 20 meetings to get 1 deal? Okay, let's say she does. Let's just say she does for the sake of argument here, all right? So Wayana needs 5 meetings a week. Aldo, how many leads do you need to get in order to get 5 meetings a week?
10 leads per 5 meetings.
You can convert 50% of your leads into meetings? Wow, that's really good.
It's like an example, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. That's an example. All right, Johnny, how many conversions do you need? How many impressions would you need from Rizal in order to get 10 leads a week?
I don't know, probably 30.
Okay, great. And then back to Rizal. What would you need to do in order to get 30 conversions for Ghani, 30 leads for Ghani?
Probably launch some ads in 2 ads per week.
Sure, whatever it takes, right? And look everywhere. Don't get single channel Rizal, right? Don't just only focus on Facebook, whatever. Listen to your team. Maybe other people can help you, right? Now, this is where you can leverage your team as a VCL. Look, Facebook, I think I can only get 80%, but I need somebody to also check LinkedIn. I also need somebody to do this. Can you guys help me on this part? And they go, yeah, we can help you, but our primary SLA is this. Right, but we need to get this part going in order to reach your SLA, right? So I need help getting this thing started. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you work in silos and you don't talk to each other, you don't help each other. It just means that everybody is responsible for one thing. All right, do you see how this works now? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Her dependency depends on your dependency, which depends on his dependency, which depends on Rizal's dependency. And if you all are working right, then everybody should be in a flow. Now, okay, here's the part where BI can help you. If, let's say, for example, you go, what the hell? Why is Wayana taking so long to convert a lead, right? Or convert these meetings into deals? Then we can go, maybe Wayana needs to talk to BI, right? To figure out what is it that she's pitching that gets such a low success ratio, right? BI's job is to improve each person's success ratio so that more of Rizal's activity becomes, so that you can all each do less work, right? BI's job is to make it so that you all do less work. You need to do less work in order to make it for the next person. The perfect case now is this: 1 impression to 1 lead to 1 meeting to 1 deal. That would be perfect, right? That means nobody needs to work on anything that isn't relevant. That would be perfect. That's BI's job, to get 100% efficiency. We're not going to get there right away, okay? We're not going to get there right away. But you guys need to start setting up what those SLAs first are between each other so that this will work, okay? And then that will create the alignment automatically across your chapter, okay? Tara, interns, whoever's supporting you guys, they support from the side, right? They can be like, okay, hey, look, Tara, I need help getting impressions, or hey, Tara, I need help that. So they can support a particular layer of the chapter. But you guys need to budget that too, right? Tara has this much bandwidth, so which bandwidth does it go to? As a VCL result, you'll need to be able to prioritize, right? If there are no leads right now, then everybody in the chapter, if there's no impressions, yes, everybody in the chapter probably needs to go help you get the funnel started, right? They need to go and canvas and start all this activity so that there's impressions. There's impressions through outreach. There's impressions through email. There's impressions through whatever, right? So yeah, they probably need to help you get this started. But once it starts running, then you need to figure out a way to keep that running. Rizal, you're in the best position because you don't need extra help. You can just spend money and then the impressions will flow. But also think of ways that you can do this maybe with Cynthia even, right? She's doing PR. So we did a PR event with Rental Scale Up, and that has produced a lead today as well. So don't forget that, right? This is all ways of bringing in leads, okay? Or bringing in impressions. Okay, does that make sense then, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what I want to see at the next sync up is this, right? Perhaps what I want to see tomorrow is, tomorrow I can't meet with you guys because I got a pitch, but I'd like to see this as soon as possible, okay? So that we can have productive meetings for Wednesday. So by tomorrow, let me, can I have Rizal schedule a meeting with me and the rest of the team, okay? What I want is this. What is your SLA to each other, okay? So Wayana is going to close 2 partnerships deals a month. How many meetings does she need in order to get 2 partnerships? How many leads do we need to get in order to get those meetings? And how many impressions do we need to get those meetings? And then that way we have it. So every week you should be delivering that. And if you're delivering that, then the funnel will start flowing and it will just start draining. Okay. And then when we come to our sync ups, we just ask, is your SLA achieved this week? And you go, no. We go, why not? And then you go, I'm doing this. Okay. All right. And then we can have productive discussions about what specifically it is to unblock that phase, right? And the great part is, if somebody's stuck, everybody knows they're stuck, and then naturally that becomes the priority, right? To get the funnel to flow again. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, Aldo, you like that? Okay. All right. So work on that, and then we'll come back. Please, I'll leave for now. I'll let you guys figure it out, right? It starts with the end and it flows all the way back up to the top again, okay? You guys know your own, one last thing. I need you to understand what your success rate is, okay? Your success rate is how much input you've received to deliver your output, okay? So let's say, for example, Aldo's success rate would be this. He would take the number of let's say, leads he has divided by, or sorry, he would take his output and divide it by his input. Aldo's input, our output is meetings. Aldo's input is leads. So let's say Aldo closes 3 meetings every 10 leads. Aldo has a 30% success ratio. He closes 30% of what he's given. Let's say Wayana. She closes 2 deals for every 20 meetings that she has. So then she has like a 10%, 2 divided by 20, a 10% success ratio. All right. Let's go to Gunny. Gunny, let's say, gets 5,000 impressions, and then he has, let's say, I don't know, out of that, maybe 50 leads, right? So he has a 1% success ratio. Each success ratio is different. That's okay. You don't need to all have the same success ratio, right? It doesn't make anything. Result is probably his production rate. How many impressions per week and how many impressions per budget? That is your success ratio. This what is your KPI, right? This is what you measure your own quality of work. And this is where you start asking yourself, have I improved over time? Am I more successful? If I went from a 20% success ratio to a 50% success ratio, then I'm good, right? I'm 100%, 150% better than I used to be. Each one of you then can figure out what it is that you need to work on. Okay? Okay. All right. That's clear. Help each other out, get this organized, and meet me tomorrow in the afternoon to discuss what the numbers are. I just want to hear what your SLA is and what your current success ratio you believe is at the moment, right? And if you want to improve your success ratio, come to leadership class and ask help from BI. That's all that they're here to do. We're here to actually improve your success ratio. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'll let you conduct the rest of the meeting without me. Yeah. And Tara, I'll let you be led by these fine gentlemen here who are well capable of doing that. Okay, see you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Recordnya matiin.